Hi, what's up, guys? This is the Determined Trader, and today is Thursday, beautiful Thursday, May 11th. And once again, just going over trades here that were taken or that could have possibly been taken, and pretty much just showing you proof of concept. In no way, shape, or form are these intended to be signals or anything, any no signals, none of that. Really, there's intention of this is if you went through the day in trading and you're following ICT, then me posting these videos, hopefully they help you in analyzing the market, on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, this is after the fact, so it's not live. So obviously, you still have to put in the work and do your own back test and forward test. But at least, hopefully, you at least get the idea of what it is you're trying to do on a day-to-day basis trading. Okay, and so with that being said, let's get to it. So today I was looking at ES, beautiful trade that happened today as well. And let me go, I'll do a top-down analysis. And currently I was looking at this 4-hour area, and this is the PD area I was focusing on. And by the way, if you guys hear me mention some terms here and there, you can, after what you do is have a notepad and write it down, and then go to ICT's channel and look up what they mean. And so, anyway, so this was a PD array I was looking at in the 4-hour. We were in this, so this would be a busy. Okay, if you guys don't know what that is, that's buy side inefficiency. In short term, because it's a longer term. Anyways, it could also be a fair value gap as well, because we have order blocks right here, this part right here, and then they have the fair value gap right there. So I draw it out, and notice how I color code these. This is how I do it. And then there's also a 60-minute one here, from here to there. That's a 60-minute, but because this one had already came down here, I thought maybe it will either be one or the other. Number one, it'll be a reclaimed fair value gap, just like how it did here. This was a 60-minute that was from here to there, and that was a reclaimed fair value gap. Or it's going to go down here and take stops out here. Now there's two PD arrays you can use. You can use this one here from the 4-hour, from here to there. Or if you go to the 1-hour, we have this one and this one. Both showed bullish direction, especially because we were below midnight. So once again, if you guys saw my videos, I've talked about this. Below midnight is buy. Above midnight would be to sell it. Okay, so anything above midnight, sell. Anything below midnight, buy. Now, it's not just that, but you also have to combine it with narrative, bias, and of course, your PD arrays and what it is that the market is telling you. Okay, but as a general rule, that is what I go by. Okay. After that, on the 15-minute, we were heading lowers. There was some red news today. It was core PPI and PPI that opened higher, went in here, and this was somewhat of a 2022 model where we took stops here, came down, and then this green candle went up in here, filled this fair value gap here in the 60-minute, and then headed lower. So those are always a bit, there. You can see here it wasn't as clean as, I'll show you this one here. It wasn't as clean, and so that's the reason why it's really hard for me to take those. I feel like when it comes to the experience, to be able to take something like this, you got to be very comfortable. But I do see it, and I think that's at least a start. And so, anyways, if you're waiting for those 5:30 news, 5:30 news did not present a signal or a setup. Like for example, if I would have taken this, I would have been a lot more comfortable seeing this go above these highs and then seeing the setup, because these were double tops right here on this area. So if I would have seen the setup here, 100% I would have been all over that. But anyways, that didn't happen, so it went up here. There's a fair value gap here. This little one in the 15-minute came lower. 9:30 stock market opens, headed lower. And by the way, this was 8:30 forex market opens, news, all that stuff, and then 9:30 stock market open, and then it continued lower into this fair value gap on the 4-hour, and once again, that's also a 1 hour fair value gap. By the way, it's a reclaimed fair value gap because we didn't really take out any liquidity here in this area. I mean, we did have this fair value gap in here. I pretty much added in here. Notice how this one is stronger than this fair value gap on the 60-minute. Usually, once it passes through, I like to color code them as lighter, even though this is still an area, because they can be inverted, and you can trade, towards going down, right? So instead of using it to trade upwards, you can use it to trade downwards. Anyways, that's another thing. But anyway, so it headed lower. There's a 4 hour fair value gap, and then here's where it held. Market held beautifully. And now if we start heading over to the lower time frames, let's go in here. This is on the 5-minute, where you can see once again market broke through. This is the inverted fair value gap I was talking about, where you can see that it uses 50% consequent encroachment of this fair value gap, and then it heads lower. Like I said, I'm not comfortable. I'm usually not comfortable still trying to take those trades, but I see them, and I'm still taking notes on that and kind of setting up my own rules around that. But right now it's just 2022 model. So notice in here, once we started hitting after 10 a.m. Eastern, which is the silver bullet, and this one was a silver bullet, 100%. If we go into the 2-minute, now let me take this off, because it's, I mean, at the end of the day, like I told you guys, it doesn't matter whether I take them. What matters is, are you seeing this yourself, right? Or are you looking at this part here, losing patience, and then just leaving your screen, right? Or you're seeing this and you're just a little bit impatient. Maybe you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything here because you got scared, and then you see the market do what it's got to do, right? So once again, that doesn't matter unless you take action. So once more, let's go over this. Are we in the 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. time? Yes, we are. That's here and here. Silver bullet setup. Yep. Do we have any red news? No, we didn't. I know there was some some orange news at 10:15 a.m. But in my back testing with these type of speakers, when it's orange news, it doesn't really matter. You just gotta have to do the trade, and that's it. It happened at 10:15, so that was like around this area here where it rallied. It looked like it was gonna give setup, and then it came right back down. Took out stops here. Oops. Right there. Went right back up, and then this is finally where we got the setup. And then there was also smart money divergence, SMT divergence. This was with NQ, and then here as well. So there you go. You can see those divergence, and I mean, if you guys want to see it, I'll show it. But once again, it doesn't really matter if I do it. What matters here is that you see the setup, and that you were following along the market. And if you took it in demo, then it is what it is. You took it and you saw it. It's definitely a very good trade. Where it came down in here, looked like we were gonna get stopped out, and my stop was below this. And this one here was where you see the market head lower. Took stops here one last time. Consequent encroachment of this wick here. That's what he used right there, and headed straight up with no resistance. You can see the market as soon as this happened. When I was watching this, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I want to see. I want to see this candle break through all this right there. And when that happened, boom, was able to go to break even and headed straight to my target up here, taking out. I think that was about 8 points or so, 10 points, 8-10 points, and that was a good trade. And then as we head into the PM session, I wasn't here for PM session. I had to do some stuff, but anyways, you can see there's a fair value gap on the 5-minute, which that's what it used to come down from 1:30. From 1:30 to 2 p.m. And then you can see the market holding very nicely here. Went right back up, and there's another little fair value gap here on the 5-minute. That's what it used. That's the buy signal to take it up, and then stops right here. The double tops here. That's target. So that was a very good. That would have been a very good trade actually. That looks a lot better on the 5-minute. Once again, it's not the 2022 model, but you can see how the market uses these levels um, to pretty much that hold, these levels hold, and you can see the market do what it's got to do. Plus, once again, we are below what? We're below midnight. So that, as a general rule, this, I mean, I haven't seen it fail. It's pretty amazing. So if you keep that as a general rule, you'll be okay, and you'll have an idea where the market's going. So in this case, we did not take out stops. Instead, I used the fair value gap to hold. It went up. Use this little mini fair value gap in here. That would have been the buy signal right in here. And to take out these, once again, these double tops right there in this area. And that's target. And then that's all she wrote for today. As far as euro dollar, there was a setup I was looking at. It's not the 2022 model. It's not really what ICT teaches, but I can go over it because he does talk about it in his core content, which it is a setup in the core content. So if you guys are interested in that, I can go over it. And this is pretty much it right here. So let me go and see this. So if you see this part here, you can see in the 60-minute, there's a fair value gap in there. Very similar to ES, where that fair value gap was actually a 4-hour, and that was a reclaimed fair value gap. Plus, we took out here, here, and here from all those different areas. So that's a very good indication that once those stops, sell stops get taken, we can see a nice little push to go back up during the bullet trade setting. And so this trade here, I wouldn't take this, but if you guys are comfortable taking that, that's good too. However, I've been seeing these setups usually on the second turn is when you want to take it. And that's kind of what I'm getting ready for, to start being able to expand my knowledge and being able to not just stick to the 2022 model, which you can see, by the way, that's really all you need. But you can see by looking at this here, this was it held here once, and usually on the second time is where you'd want to take it, and you'd want to place your order on the order block or fair value gap, and then place it below, the low, whatever that is. So that's like about 7 points right here. You'd be risking to take out these double tops up here around 11. I mean, this looks like a nice little 15-point move, so that would have been a nice trade here. And so, anyways, I'm taking screenshots of these and just, like I said, keeping them for back testing and forward testing. And I was watching this, pretending to take a trade here. But once again, I don't take trades here unless I have to. I can show you my markers. I don't have any trades here. There's no need for me to take any trades, right? There's no need. But for this one, definitely you can see where I took the trades. So there you go. That's really the only trade that I took there. I'm not here to gamble. I'm not here to mess around. I'm here to do this because it's a business, and what ICT is teaching is the real deal. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and take that off so it won't plop, and that's pretty much it for today. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Oh, I think also NQ as well. Give me a second. Yeah. So the other one was NQ here. Yeah, so the other one was NQ, and here was a beautiful setup that happened. Once again, we were initially below. Reload this ninja script. We were below midnight, and you can see it was just kind of not really doing anything until finally, after 10 a.m., 10:30, it kicked off. It took out sell stops here, took out buy stops, and so I was looking to see if this thing can go down in here. And it didn't. And once again, I wasn't here for the PM session. I had to take off. And you can see I used this little level here on this 5-minute to come back in here. And that's really where the market kept going higher and higher. Unfortunately, I didn't really give a chance to get in. Let me take a look at the 1 minute. So, yeah, actually in the 1 minute, you can see there's a little setup here. Not exactly the 2022 model, because there's no low here, and then this would have been the lower low, what could have been higher high. Like, there's no low and there's no high here for the market to break out from. It just kind of lingered lower, barely even hit this fair value gap, and quickly went back up, and then this would have been the entry here. This would have been a gap, and then went up, came in here, and continued higher to take out these double tops on the higher time frame here, which happened when news happened. That's what was getting set up for, and so that's really what I wanted to take. And otherwise, I would have taken this trade here. We would have gone in here, hit this fair value gap. That would have been a nice buy to take it up higher. And either way, yeah, for this one, I would have been comfortable with just getting out around this area in here, or trying to shoot for this double tops. And if that was the case, I probably would have gotten stopped out, just because I would have moved my stop to break even. That would have stopped me out here. I would have used this fair value gap and then go higher. And within a matter of not even like an hour, yeah, like 1 hour, finally, it gives up the juice and it hits the double tops. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. So hope this helps, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I didn't think I was gonna make it too long like yesterday's, but it still ended up being a little longer just because I spoke about more charts. Anyways, talk to you guys later.